Okay, let's jump right in. Today, we're taking a look at a really fascinating and frankly pretty bold political proposal coming out of Somaliland. It's called the Guardians of Somaliland, and trust me, it's more than just a plan. It's a manifesto that's aiming to completely rethink the nation's entire future. And the whole thing kicks off with this incredibly powerful statement. You can just feel the deep-seated frustration in those words, right? It speaks to this feeling that progress has just been stuck in neutral, and that promises have been broken for way, way too long. This sense of waiting. That's really the emotional heart of this entire document. So yeah, let's unpack that idea. A nation in waiting. The manifesto doesn't just see this as some passive state of being. No, it frames this as the central core problem that absolutely has to be solved. And the source material here, it does not pull any punches. It basically argues that for a whole generation, leaders have gotten really good at the appearance of progress, announcing big projects, signing flashy deals, but they've completely failed to deliver any real tangible results. The core accusation? That they've taken the wealth, but not the responsibility, leaving the entire nation just waiting. So to really get what they're proposing as a solution, we have to first understand how they see the problem. And this next part gets into what the manifesto calls a legacy of mismanagement. And the critique gets super specific here. It points to a system where power is just recycled among the same old political circles, mostly men. And it's all based on clan loyalty instead of who's actually best for the job. And get this, it highlights that there are 0 women in senior cabinet roles. On top of that, a total lack of financial transparency. Public budgets are either secret or just flat out ignored. The result? Rival groups fight over money and big projects get announced with a huge show, only to be abandoned later. And this slide just lays out the core argument perfectly, doesn't it? It's a tale of 2 leadership styles. On one side, you have what it describes as the past, leadership driven by clan ties, private wealth, secret deals, and political games. And on the other side, the proposed new way forward. Female leadership focused on what's good for the community, on integrity, and on actually building a legacy that lasts. Okay, so we've heard the diagnosis of the problem, right? So what's the solution? This is where the manifesto introduces its big idea, the Guardians. So what exactly are the Guardians of Somaliland? Well, think of it as a council of accomplished women from all sorts of professional fields, academics, business leaders, you name it. And their mission is crystal clear with 2 main goals. First, to build real, lasting systems of transparency right into the government. And second, to find, support, and ultimately get the nation's first female prime minister elected. But you might be asking, why the specific focus on women? Well, the manifesto makes its case pretty strongly. It argues that women are already the bedrock of Somaliland's economy and its communities. It claims that their leadership style is more about collaboration and less about clan rivalries. And it points to data suggesting they're less likely to be corrupt and more likely to focus on the things that really matter, like health, education, and clean water, instead of just playing power games. Now, this isn't just some vague pie-in-the-sky dream. The manifesto actually lays out a very specific blueprint for how to make all this happen, and transparency is right at the heart of it all. The whole plan really boils down to 4 key pillars. Number 1, radical financial clarity. That means putting every single government payment online in a public digital ledger for everyone to see. 2, rebuilding institutions by creating independent, women-led groups to fight corruption. 3, reinvesting in people, specifically by pouring money from natural resources into STEM education programs. And finally, number 4, going all in on digital governance with a special program. And let's zoom in on that last point for a second, this House of Wisdom program. It's a super modern, tech-savvy approach to keeping things honest. The idea is to use tools like digital receipts for every single public transaction. And get this, they even propose using AI-based systems to automatically sniff out waste, kickbacks, and corruption. Pretty cool, right?
Now, behind this very detailed, very political plan, there's a deeply personal motivation. The source material tells the story of its founder, a man named Omar Arizona, and the promise that is driving this entire movement. So what's really driving all of this? What's the fire behind the manifesto? Well, as it turns out, it's not just about policy or politics. It's rooted in something much, much more personal. The founder himself explains that his entire mission comes from a promise he made to his mother. He talks about her deep, unwavering love for Somaliland, but also the pain she feels seeing its potential just squandered by years of broken leadership. So for him, this whole thing isn't just a campaign. It's a duty.
And he reflects on what he believes is the country's biggest mistake, made over and over again. He says we let men of ego speak louder than women of wisdom. And the consequence? Every time we ignored their voice, we lost a piece of our future. Wow, that's a powerful way to put it.
And this really brings us to the core belief that holds up this entire manifesto. The argument is that women are fundamentally better suited to lead because, as he says, they don't betray trust, they preserve it. They're not chasing personal fame, they're building a legacy. So, after all is said and done, we're left with this one huge, thought-provoking question. The Guardians of Somaliland manifesto is a bold bet. It's a bet that the answer to decades of problems isn't just a new policy or a new plan, but a fundamental shift in who leads. It really makes you wonder, can a new form of leadership truly heal a nation?